Hey there, quirky folks! I'm your host, Anna, and with the launch of the new Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse trailer, we'll be looking at quite a few Spider-Men that will show up in the movies. Obviously, the likes of Miles Morales and Spider-Gwen are going to be back. This time, we will also visit and explore Gwen's Earth. And the trailer also confirmed the return of Peter B. Parker from Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. The last time we saw him, he went back to work things out with his Mary Jane. And it seems that he did exactly that because he has returned with a baby now. Yes, Peter B. Parker is a father and his daughter is called Mayday. But apart from this trio, we will be seeing several other Spider people in the movie. Even in the trailer itself, there are dozens. And naming them all would be next to impossible because one of them doesn't even come from the comics. Some are originally created for this particular movie. So, we won't be covering literally every Spider-Man or Spider-Woman from the trailer. But we'll be talking about 12 to 15 important ones that will appear in the movie. And the first of them is Spider-Man 2099. Oscar Isaac is the one voicing Miguel O'Hara, who is the Spider-Man of the year 2099. Created in 1992 by Peter David and Rick Leonardi, he is half Mexican and half Irish. He's a genius in the field of genetics. As an adult, he worked for an organization called Alchemex, and that's where he got his powers from. He is literally half a spider as his genes were forcibly merged with a spider's DNA. That's how he got his web-slinging and wall-crawling abilities. But after the DNA fusion, he also grew talons on his feet and hands. And he also has fangs and claws like a vampire. His elongated canine teeth secrete a paralyzing venom that can slow his opponents down if he bites them. Apart from the razor-sharp talons that stick out of his forearms and legs, he also possesses short and retractable talons at the tips of his fingers and toes. Being half a spider, he produces organic webbing that's similar to Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. He has a couple of different abilities like his electrical venom blasts, which are quite similar to Miles Morales' electrical charges. And he also has a spider camouflage ability. In a comic story called 2099, Manifest Dynasty, Miguel was also able to lift Mjolnir. Now moving on to the Spider-Verse movies, the post-credits scene of Into the Spider-Verse revealed that he has a special wrist device. It prevents him from glitching in any universe. In fact, even Gwen has this device now. Anyway, Spider-Man 2099 will be the primary antagonist taking on Miles Morales. He has gathered a group of spider people called the Council of Spiders. They are charged with the protection of the multiverse. The synopsis of the film states that Miles will find himself pitted against the other spiders. And the charge will be led by Miguel, as he thinks that the multiverse is a danger because of Miles. Okay now, enough about Miguel. Let's move on to the next important character, that is Jessica Drew's Spider-Woman. While Sony is working on a live-action Spider-Woman movie, they've bought a different version of her in Across the Spider-Verse. She rides a cool motorcycle and hails from Earth 404. She takes on the Vulture while jumping dimensions. One crazy aspect about her is that she seems to be pregnant in the film. At first, we see her beside Spider-Man 2099, but later, she might switch to the side of Miles and Gwen in the Spider-Verse Civil War. As far as her origins in the comics are concerned, you'd find different stories for how she got her powers. In one story, she was genetically born with her powers, and in another, it was the High Evolutionary who injected her with a spider-derived serum. As for her powers, she has all the abilities of Spider-Man, but she also produces electrical charges like Miles and Miguel. Now moving on, one amazing Spider-Man we spotted in the trailer was Spider-Cop. In the nexus of all Spider-Men, the Spidey in the blue shirt giving everyone directions is none other than Spider-Cop. He is a traffic policeman in here. But in the comics, Spider-Cop used his powers to join the NYPD on Earth 19119. He sort of became a legend. In 2018 Spider-Geddon event, he was recruited into the Spider Army by Spider-Gwen and helped defeat the Inheritors. And Spider-Man PS4 also has a skin dedicated to him. Speaking of that, the trailer also showed us the PlayStation Spider-Man. Into the Spider-Verse just showed us Spider-Man PS4's suit in a vault, but a version of the PlayStation Spider-Man actually shows up in the trailer. In the game, Peter began to mentor a young Miles Morales, and he also seems to have his own young Miles in the trailer. But along with the regular PS4 Spider-Man, we also saw one multiversal Spidey wearing the yellow and black bulletproof suit from the game. Next up, we've got the Bagman. The trailer showed a Spidey with a bag on his head. This is a nod to the time when Spider-Man joined the Fantastic Four. But in order to hide his secret identity, he added a bag on his head. Now obviously, Sony doesn't have the rights to Fantastic Four, so they just added a bag on a regular Spidey from another Earth. Next up, the trailer also showed us Spider-Wolf. Towards the right of the screen, we can clearly see a werewolf Spider-Man. This is a nod to the Spider-Wolf from the comics that came from Earth 13989. In fact, we also saw him in the Spider-Man Unlimited series. He obviously has the powers of a regular Spider-Man, but he also has the abilities of a werewolf. Apart from him, we also notice the classic Iron Spider. Peter wore the Iron Spider suit during the Civil War storyline of the comics. Tony designed this red and gold suit for him, and it also had 3 spider legs. And a version similar to the Iron Spider is also in Across the Spider-Verse. But in the MCU, the Iron Spider looked very different and had 4 legs. Now moving on, one Spidey similar to the Iron Spider is the Lady Spider. She is a variant who originates from a gloriously steampunk universe. She also has these golden Spidey appendages, and she teamed up with Spider-Man 2099 during 2015's Spider-Verse event. Now once again, she joined Spider-Man in 2099 and Across the Spider-Verse as a part of the Council of Spiders. And we'll probably see her battle Miles as well. Up next, we've got the Future Foundation Spider-Man. In another iteration, Spidey once again joined the Fantastic Four by replacing his friend Johnny Storm. He donned a white and black team uniform, which can also be seen in the trailer. But here in Across the Spider-Verse, this Future Foundation Spidey seems to be a woman. Next up, Miles gets attacked by the 6-armed spider. On Earth 92100, Peter took a formula to try and rid himself of his spider powers. But he wound up with 4 extra heads and became an 8-limbed spider for real. Now, a similar version of the 6-armed Spider-Man attacked Miles in the trailer. But along with him, we also saw the Armored Spider-Man. One memorable suit that Spidey wore in the comics was the Armored Spidey suit. This suit also showed up in Spider-Man the Animated Series back in the 90s. And the Spidey you see with the bulletproof Spider-Man is the armored one. The trailer also showed us Spider-Man Unlimited. He originates from the 1999 animated Spider-Man series of the same name. And he was also seen at the nexus of Spider-Man attacking Miles Morales. Up next, we have the Scarlet Spider. This is none other than Ben Reilly from the books. He is a clone of Spider-Man who teamed up with Peter Parker on several occasions. Even though he is confirmed to show up in the movie, we don't really see him in the trailer. Another said Spidey who wasn't in the trailer was Spider-Punk. Hobart Brown, aka Spider-Punk, hails from Earth 138 and is known for his distinct rock star look. He is a homeless teenager who was transformed into the web slinger due to Norman Osborn dumping some toxic waste. He is confirmed to be voiced by Daniel Kaluuya, who plays W'Kabi in Black Panther. Since he wasn't at the nexus of Spideys, it is possible that Miles will team up with Spider-Punk as he flees through the multiverse. Now finally, we're supposed to have the Japanese Spider-Man. Back in 1978, Japan launched a different version of Spider-Man through a live-action series. Here, he had a very different origin story and got his abilities due to some special blood being injected into him from Planet Spider. Even though this series looks stupid, it still gave Spider-Man a great global appeal. Apart from these spider people, the producers of Across the Spider-Verse, Phil Lord and Christopher Miller, have teased that Tom Holland's Spidey from the MCU could also cameo in the film. Honestly, I'd be happy if either of Holland, Maguire, or Garfield's Spider-Men show up. In fact, it would be amazing if all 3 of them would team up with Miles and Gwen in the next outing that is Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse. Okay, that's all from the list of Spider-Men that showed up in the latest trailer. Smash those like and subscribe buttons if you enjoyed this video. Goodbye, and I'll see you in the next one.